What is up, YouTube? And today I'm going to be talking about this unit that you see on your screen here, Bomb Model Kana. Now, Bomb Model Kana is a pretty strong PvE unit, especially because she got a exclusive equipment a while back, and I think she's very underrated. She's also free to play because, as you guys saw, she's available from connections. She does a ton of damage with her S3. AoE, of course, also gives herself an attack buff, which is very nice, and also a speed buff for her team that can also strip a buff, which is just insane for like bosses like Azamnak who have buffs you need to strip, and also for like expeditions where bosses have a ton of buffs. Also, her S2 will make it so that she has increased speed and dual attack chance or increased effectiveness based on her stance. Basically, her stance will be changing depending on her S3, whether it's off cooldown or on cooldown. And her S1 is a single target attack that actually is not single target, it hits 2 targets actually, and this will actually scale with her speed, which gets further increased with her S3. So this is the build that I have for my Bomb Model Kana. She's pretty easy to build. All you guys really need is 100% crit or 85% if you're bringing her into Earth Expedition or Golem or anything with an Earth boss. You also want as high crit damage as possible. You want above 200 speed, ideally about like 210, 220 like I have, so you can actually cycle faster. And her attack at least 3000. Now for her exclusive equipment, there's a lot of choices. I actually recommend having her S2 stance shift. It's very nice because having that extra dual attack chance and speed will make you do more damage, or even quick bombardment on your S1 is nice if you're going to build her on a little bit more effectiveness here, because you can actually use her in areas of content like Azamnak and put unbuffable, or even like Queen in Nightmare Raid, which makes her very flexible. So you can see that there's a lot of uses for her. She has a ton of areas of content she's good in. Wow, I really freaking hate this AI. I have to like go through everything. I don't know if you guys like this or not, but it makes it so much more annoying to display like units. I don't even care about this stuff. Like, wow. Just a side note, but yeah, why did Smilegate even switch this UI, to be honest? Like, the old one was fine. But yeah, she's very flexible, usable in lots of areas of content. Highly recommend building her. She's one of the best free-to-play AoE damage dealers in the game. Makes her super easy to get as well because she's available for connections, and yeah, she's pretty simple to build. Now for artifact, Daydream Joker is going to be her best choice in areas of content that allow it. Now some bosses don't get affected by this percent HP increase, and if that's the case, you want to run something like Bloodstone for extra healing, so she can heal your team. Even an artifact such as the new one, Noggle's artifact's fine because she has a ton of AoE damage and double attacks, which makes her have a very nice way to defense break with it. But Bloodstone and Daydream Joker are going to be the main ones. For set, you want speed set, of course. You can go even crit damage set, like destruction set if you want, or even rage set, depends on how you want to build her, right? But I like speed set, it's just the most flexible, and just having her cycle faster is nice because not only is she a damage dealer, guys, she is a support unit with that speed buff. Speed buff is very good, especially for like expeditions. I recommend running her on either speed set, destruction set, or even rage set. It's really up to you as your force set of choice. Speed set is one I prefer though because of the fact that not only is she a damage dealer, she has support with her S3 giving speed buff and even attack buff. And the speed buff is very nice because it will actually make your team be able to take more turns, especially in areas of content with like expedition where you're limited. But if you have a very sick destruction set or rage set that you want to use on her, it's perfectly fine. Secondary set, I like to use either critical hit chance set or effectiveness set if you're using her as like a debuffer. Not debuffer, but I guess dispeller with her S1 and her S3, which can also dispel. So if you want to run her on that kind of setup, effectiveness set works as well, but crit chance set is just going to be better overall, especially because she doesn't get too much crit chance from her awakenings, if I believe. So she is a little bit more tougher to gear than other damage dealing units in the game that get crit chance from their awakenings. Bomb Model Kana, definitely a very powerful unit, especially for newer players. She is free to play because you get her from connections. Definitely recommend getting her if you're lacking a good fire DPS. And as we know, like, there's not really that many good fire DPSs except like Mercedes. And while Mercedes can be very good for PvE, if you want to use her in PvP on the setup, especially in like your Guild Wars defense team, which she is very good in the early game, or even the mid game and late game honestly, then you need to actually free up your fire DPS slot for PvE, and Bomb Model Kana is a very good choice, and she's very powerful in Earth Expo, she's very good in Golem, she's very good in Nightmare Raid, she's also very good in areas of content with areas of content where you need a lot of AoE damage because of her S1 and her S3. Very good also in Ancient Inheritance if you bring her into a Ranger setup. And in Earth Expedition, she's actually one of the best damage dealers because she can actually hold Bloodstone. And if you have her on Bloodstone and high enough damage, you actually don't really need a healer for that expedition, making it really easy to cheese. So it makes her very strong. So yeah, definitely build her if you have the chance. She's very powerful. Now, a lot of people might say, why do I want to build her if I have Mercedes? Mercedes is very strong, do not get me wrong, but she doesn't have that much utility, right? She's pretty much pure damage, which is decent for PvE, but usually pure damage dealers, you want like single target pure damage dealers. Whereas Bomb Model Kana has a ton of support because she has speed buff, she has a self attack buff, which I guess Mercedes has as well, but she also has a strip, and her S1 also has a strip and dispel as well with the exclusive equipment, and she can honestly do more damage if you actually have her on better gear because her base stats are higher at 5 stars compared to Mercedes 4 stars. I just wanted to let you guys know of a pretty strong free-to-play fire unit, especially for a damage dealer, that is available to you pretty much from almost the start of the game as long as you complete story. Very powerful, very fun to use, and honestly, she is worth your investment because with 4 Mologoras, she doesn't really need that much either because even though she is a damage dealer, you just need to turn cooldown on her S3, and honestly, that's pretty much it. You don't even need to give her anything in S1 and S2 because most of her damage will be coming from Daydream Joker for most bosses, and that's going to be not really reliant on your skill enhances or Molgora. And of course, as a PvE only unit, she doesn't really require much investment because yeah, in PvE you can just kind of make up for the skill enhances with just a little bit better gear, whereas in PvP it's kind of endless scaling, if that makes sense. So yeah, just wanted to talk about her. She does have the Christmas skin, which is I think available from the store. I don't think it's available from the Activate Pass anymore because that was last year. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you guys want to see more videos reviewing some free-to-play PvE and even PvP options. I'm always down to make these videos for you guys, not just too sure what you guys really want in terms of units. So let me know in the comments down below what units you guys want to see videos like this on, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.